Is Omen about to have a 100% pick rate at Masters Toronto? No. But he might end up with one of, if not the highest pick rates at an international tournament ever. Well, where are we with Omen right now? Let's take a look at America's Stage 1, and Omen's pick rate is 51%, which is pretty high, but it's not unbelievably high. If we come to Pacific Stage 1, that is a little bit higher at 61%. Now we're really starting to get there. And in EMEA, although they haven't finished yet, it's currently at 64%, actually way above Teo, even pre-nerf. And the thing is, here in Americas, really Omen is only so low because the most played map is Pearl, and Omen has a 0% pick rate on Pearl, whereas in the other regions that isn't the case, and so their pick rates are a lot higher. But there is another map that is a 0% pick rate map for Omen, and that, of course, is Fracture. The thing is, though, for Masters Toronto, of course, Fracture is rotating out, and Sunset is coming in, and the last time we saw Sunset, it was pretty much all Omen. So Omen is basically going to go from a 0% pick rate map to having another 100% pick rate map, and that means that essentially you can add about 14% to Omen's overall pick rate for Masters Toronto straight away. So if you're looking at those EMEA and Pacific numbers, you're already in the mid to high 70s. And those are pretty historic numbers if you didn't know, because in the partnership era, the highest pick rate of any agent in any international tournament was in Masters Madrid, actually, and it was Viper at 78%. Well, if you take the EMEA 64% plus the 14 already of, you know, adding in Sunset for Fracture, well, that's also already 78%, but it might get even higher. But just before we reveal why, let's first do a quick quiz question. Do you know what the highest pick rate for any agent at any international Masters of all time is? Well, it was here at Masters Berlin, and it was Jet at 85%. And in fact, there has only ever been one agent to have above 80% in any international, and it was Jet 3 times. All 3 times happening in 2021. So maybe Omen won't quite outright get the overall record from 2021 Jet, but in terms of partnership era, we could see a new record. And one of the crucial reasons why is because another map that Omen has not historically been that popular on, in Icebox, we are starting to see more and more Omen. Because if we take a look at this game here, KC versus Na'Vi, I know that neither of these teams are going to Masters Toronto, but they are both playing Omen on this map. And we have seen some of the teams who are going to Masters Toronto, like Sentinels and Paper Rex, they're also playing Omen. And these teams that are playing Omen on Icebox are cooking up a storm. Let's take a look at the pistol round from that Na'Vi versus KC game and look at how Martin absolutely dominates the round.
This time. Oh, look at this! Towards mid, Martin aggressive and TP's behind. It's Sugetsu who gets the first. KC end up a man in head. Still Martin though, stuck in enemy lines. He has a way to disengage here. There are still smokes blocking the path. Na'Vi yet to route him out of position. Oh, hero's completely caught. Martin has not been missing at all.
And these are just some of the things that Omen allows you to do that you just don't see from other agents. I mean, this is absolutely insane, right? So we're going to smoke here with the Viper Orb, all normal, but we're going to TP into a smoke here in window as well. Now, this is obviously very strange because Na'Vi here have gone for this mid push just here, but just take a look at the map and how it works, right? So he TPs into window, he then drops back down behind, who is it? It's Angel here. So he's now behind Angel and just gets a free kill on him, you know, dropping down from here. I mean, it's a crazy play. Then obviously this part, you know, smoking himself off again to help him survive. I mean, look at all the space that this creates now. As, I mean, even if he doesn't completely destroy them here, Martin, with some of his individual skill, look at the space he's created. Literally everyone is now just looking for him. These guys can go to B or A and they're gonna get the site, right? We're in a 3v3 postman already, even if Martin doesn't pop off in this next moment just here. But obviously Martin, he's been playing incredibly well. He does pop off and completely wins them the round by getting those 2 kills. But even without those 2 kills, he still created a ton of space, got a kill as well. It's really impressive. And what do we always say about Icebox? Well, you should never go mid, but with Omen, that actually changes because now you have enough smokes to potentially make something like that work, and Omen can be a space creator. Like, for instance, in both of these comps, there is no other duelist, but Omen, as you'll see in this round, can still kind of be that duelist on Icebox if you want it to be, and create space for the rest of the team.
Exactly, right into the next round. Martin back in mid. Double TP, he's fully sent this. Between the lines, look at KC, so quick to take the B site.
Yeah, they've identified where Martin is, and it's quick to collapse upon, but Elite out of nowhere
gets two.
So here you get a good example of, even though the Omen dies, the impact in this round is still massive because, I mean, one, we got a nice little detail here with the high smoke so you can't see the TP coming across. We then TP straight in, and just this little bit of distraction, right? Doing a fast B split here, just a little bit of distraction, even though we missed this flash just here, right? Now look, we got two players, you know, ready to kind of pinch on this Omen. They think they're dealing with it, they think they've dealt with the threat, but what that's going to open up is we get 2 kills here for Elite. Right, he's going to manage to get 2 kills from trading on the Omen, and now we've got a free B site. Right, now look at us. We've taken all this space. Now they have to be careful about, you know, what's going on here, and we've got a free B site. And these are the kind of things that, you know, normally on Icebox, they just don't work, if we're being honest. But with an Omen, maybe they can. And obviously, I'm not breaking news here, but the Paranoia is arguably the best ability that isn't an ult in the entire game of Valorant. And you're going to see a good example of it here in the other pistol round from Na'Vi, where a Paranoia completely destroys Karmine Corps as they're trying to get aggressive here on A. Well, take a look at what's going to happen.
Good job at highlighting the flank, being super proactive on this defender's side, and already Hero's completely isolated under belt, but calling for backup. There's a brawl going down, and KC draw first blood. You see it's a brawl, it's more like a beatdown. That flash is perfect though, and the trade's in Navi's feet.
Of course, it's not just stuff like that. Of course, Icebox is a map where you probably will be retaking quite a lot. Guess what? Having more smokes to block off the spike and stuff like that can also be pretty useful.
Gets out 3-on-3, but the playing field is skewed in favor of Na'Vi. Martin up close, Paranoia to the back of yellow, positioning is so constricted, and that's where KC have a vice grip. Can Angel do any better for us in the clutch? The salvos are up, and the time is ticking on down. Even more onto Elite, 6 points of health, 1 bullet would do it. They nearly line up, but it's Martin again.
And another thing you might want to do on Icebox is get aggressive early in the round on the defense side and try and contest some of that space. Well, guess what Omen can do as well?
Some more ideas, but a much weaker buy behind this. TP ahead. Oh my god, Jing.
Okay, well, they're just going to go aggro again, and this time get rewarded for it.
Yeah, he's going to beat that timing of the Teo salvos and manage to then get out as well scot-free. These are the kind of things that Omen can do, and it's why I think Omen might become a pretty popular choice on this map, particularly with a Teo nerf and some teams now needing to potentially change their comps somewhat or think about what they're going to do with their comps because of that nerf. I think it wouldn't be a shock to me if Omen was a decent part of the meta, having seen quite a few teams find a lot of success with it. And that then is going to bring up a question because, as I'm saying, Omen's pick rate at Masters Toronto should probably at least be in the mid-70s and potentially could rise up, you know, to the high 70s, maybe even 80%. And once you start getting a pick rate that high, you are starting to look at like, okay, something is wrong again, right? Something needs to change. And yes, some of it is the map pool, right? Like Fracture and Bind not being in the map pool means that Brim is probably going to have a 0% pick rate, but Brim isn't that bad. So some of it will be the map pool, but I also think that you could make an argument that, you know, there might need to be some readjusting of the controllers again, whether that's buffing some of the other controllers, obviously Harbor, but potentially some of the others as well, or maybe even again looking at Omen if he needs a slight tweak down.